Alrighty guys, so I guess I'm live. Hello, hello, hello. I'm gonna wait for just a few minutes to get started just to see like who all is coming in and yeah, so it'll be like 5 minutes and let me just finish like checking this whole thing out. Seeing where I am. So I have my phone recording and it is on the tripod, it's turned around. So I'm going to be looking at a different phone to see any comments. I am actually not going to be responding to comments this time, like in real time in a sense, because it really distracts me from what I'm trying to say, especially if I'm in the middle of something. I have a hard time like jumping in if or when any comments are coming through. So definitely comment. I am going to read them, but it probably isn't going to be like right away. So yeah, if you are here, welcome, come on in. If you're new, my name is Addie and welcome to Growing with the Green. So there's all kinds of videos on this channel, but I'm basically doing this video live today because it is the 2018 year-end review. So last year I did a year-end review for 2017. I did it live. And it turned out to be a really good video. A lot of people got some really good value out of it, and I had a really good time actually sharing my answers that I put down with you guys. So, yeah, we're gonna get ready to get started here in just a bit. I feel like it's a little bit dark. I don't know if I should open the window or not. Maybe if I turn on this light. Not really sure if that helped or not. A little bit. Put like some ugly yellow light on there. But yeah, so the year-end review basically comes out of, so last year I created a Cultivate kit and it was a vision board kit. So for anybody that isn't aware or if you're new around here, I've hosted vision board parties for people, for groups, for corporate, for businesses, for ladies' night, for, I mean, really like whatever you can think of. But I've hosted these vision board parties for a really long time, and in doing that, I have basically put together like a whole way to go about doing things. And so when I have a workshop, I use a year in review for us to go in, take a look at our year, and really just spend some time to reflect. So my job is basically to create the space for you to be able to reflect on your year. And so a lot of times we say we're going to create space to do things, and we don't actually make the space to do those things. We just keep on saying that we are. So if you are here, if you are joining in on the live, or even if you are watching this again on the replay, this video is like the real deal. We're going to go through all of these questions. So if you have a journal that you journal in, grab that. If you have paper or whatever, anything that you can write on, you can do this on Post-its if you need to. But grab some writing utensils and we're going to go ahead and jump right into this year-end review. So I actually just watched the year-end review from last year. I watched it maybe like an hour before I got ready to jump on here. And so I'm listening and I'm kind of like comparing my answers from last year. And it's really super interesting to see where your life goes, where your life can go in just the course of the year. And so I think the most beneficial like piece of value out of that is just good grief. Like if there's something you want to do or start it, because in 1 year like so many things can be different. Yeah. So let me find the page. So I wrote a book, you guys. I wrote an ebook. If you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I wrote an ebook. One of my biggest things and something that's been on my vision board probably for 2 or 3 years is to be a best-selling author. And so this ebook probably isn't the best-selling author piece of work yet, but you guys, it is like the biggest thing I could have done to go ahead and kind of like start and set the tone for doing this. And so I always knew I wanted to write a book, never knew what I wanted to write a book about, and the crazy thing is the book ended up being about how to manifest your vision boards. But I love this stuff. I've been doing vision boards for a long time, and I've really been helping people try to just see things differently in their lives and really go after your goals and like chase those things. But more importantly than that, to actually take the damn time out to do it. Because how many times do we say we're going to do that and we don't do it? So my book is available tomorrow. So yay! I'm actually coming to you guys today live from Palm Springs, California. We're here on a little like relaxing staycation, and we're celebrating the launch of my little book. So if you guys are doing a vision board this year, I definitely want to let you guys know that that will be something that will be available as a resource and a tool to like help you after the fact, because we all know making the board ain't what it is. It's what you do after you make that board that's gonna, you know, make or break if those visions and those things manifest for you. So with that being said, let's jump right into this thing. And I really don't like not being able to see myself, so I'm probably gonna turn this around, so you guys are probably gonna see some weird stuff for a second, and like, hang on. All right. Oops, that's probably a whole heck of a lot better. So I'm sitting here in the hotel working on all of my vision stuff. So if you guys remember this baby right here, this is my vision binder from last year. I did a binder instead of a board. It was a genius idea. It probably was like the best thing that I could have done. And I love it. It was something that I incorporated into my morning routine, and I've been working it out ever since. So I have my year in review, and so this is kind of just a little like mock-up, or what do you call it, like a manuscript of my little book. And so, oops, that's like all my stuff falling out, but the year in review is in here. And if you have your papers and your pens, we're gonna get started. So if you want to comment, don't let them people bring you down. Hang on. I'm gonna read these, you guys, I promise. I just get like super sidetracked trying to do that. Okay. So the first question for you guys, so you can answer, you can put your answers in the bottom. If you don't want to like write everything down, I encourage you to put your answers in the bottom. That's like the fun part. That's what makes this kind of like interactive and fun too. And plus I share my stuff with you guys, so you can share your answers with me too. But anyways, let's do this. I was just on the page, and then now I'm not on the page anymore. All right, here we go. I think I got it. So number 1, describe your year in 3 words. So your 2018. What are 3 words that would describe your 2018? And so for me, I just answered this one actually on Instagram today. And I said, I'm going to read you what I put on my Instagram because it's like my actual answer. If I can find it. Y'all, I am on the struggle bus today. Okay, here we go. Describe your 2018 in 3 words was a question that I posted to Instagram. It's the first question on the year in review. And my 3 words were enlightened, memorable, and private. And so basically I said that I learned a ton about myself and other people, some things good and some things not so much. I learned a lot about life and about business. I made some really good memories, and I also played the hermit. I spent a lot of time to myself this year, like not really talking, enlightening, healing, and growth. Yes, ooh, those are good ones. And so, yeah, so those are my 3 words. Very cool. Number 2. What was the most important lesson that you learned in 2018? And so, first and foremost, I want to say for you guys that are here and for anybody that's going to catch this on the replay, these questions are not made to be answered like super quickly. Because a lot of times what happens is when we get asked questions like, you know, how was your week? Or, you know, how did the year go for you? We have this sort of like set of generic answers that has the tendency to come out because your brain automatically tries to formulate an answer. But what I want you to do is really kind of like take a moment to think in depth about some of these questions when you go to create your answers. So number 2 for me, the most important lesson that I learned was basically to do the work. Like, nothing in this life is coming to you easy. It's just not. So you have to do the work, and the work is not always doing something that's hard or actual physical work. Sometimes doing the work is just going in to figure out like what's going on with you. Sometimes that work is physical, sometimes that work is spiritual, sometimes that work is mental, you know. And to trust the process as you're doing the work. Like, the work is our journey, and our journey is all a part of the process. So we trust the process and do the work. Number 3, what had the biggest positive impact on your life in 2018? And so if I think about this in just according to the year, yes, good. Gary Vaynerchuk and the book Crush It and the book Crushing It, both books have literally like changed my mind, which literally changes your life. Gary Vaynerchuk is like social media genius, but I mean, he started video years ago with his Wine Library TV, and now, I mean, he's doing his thing, but he wrote these books that are telling you, like, listen, if you have a business, or if you are a brand, or hell, if you're just a person with a fucking message, get on some platform and start sharing it, you know, and monetize it. You know, you hear all day people are saying monetize your passions. And I 100% agree, because y'all know me. I think that everybody has a message. Everybody has something that they can share. Everybody has something that they're good at or whatever. So, I mean, why not put yourselves out there? And that is a message to anybody that's been thinking about starting themselves a YouTube channel, watching YouTube videos, and you haven't taken the plunge to do it yet. What number are we on? We're on number 4. What major goals did you lay the foundation for this year? What major goals did you lay the foundation for? So laying the foundation means maybe you started something. Maybe you did one thing, but that one thing is just a little building block that's going to catapult something else. So I basically put that, it's been a goal of mine to teach my sensual movement classes again. It had been. I had taken a couple of years off after having Preston and having Penelope to recover and adjust to new mom life again and all of that. And but my passion was teaching dance and movement, and I wanted to do that again. And so this year I found a studio that was looking for instructors, and so they had been willing to host my class, which is cool because now the ball's in my court. I can create classes and workshops and host private sessions. I really have the freedom and the leniency to kind of build my class and stuff the way that I want to. So getting my foot in the door there, I think has laid the foundation. And then writing the ebook, you guys. So on my vision board, I have had this picture of an Amazon best-selling author, the award. And I don't necessarily think that this particular ebook is going to be that. It's a short ebook. It's to the point. It's like a pocket guide. But just simply sitting down to finally write it and to finally take what's in my head and put it on paper, and make it available to help the world, you know, that's probably the biggest step I could have taken as a aspiring author to do. So yes. Number 5. What mental blocks did you overcome? So what mental blocks? And I think one of you kind of answered that a little bit in your last one about being valuable, about still being valuable. So I put not being good enough because I think that somewhere, and maybe it's just me, but I think that we all may have a tendency to not feel good enough at times. And comparison is a real thing. And regardless of how much we may try not to compare ourselves to other people, you know, I think that we sort of just live in a world where it's almost impossible not to, at least sometimes. And so with that being said, like not being good enough, or the other one that I feel like too that I had to really overcome is not having enough followers or subscribers or viewers or friends on Facebook or whatever, Twitter peeps, I don't even know, but it just is not having like a high number of those things and still presenting and being of value to someone else. And so you know, I had an interesting comment from someone this year on Instagram who said that I secretly bash people or put people down, and that like I think I'm better than everybody else, or you know, some crazy shit like that. And it really offended me, because anybody that knows me knows that I'm not her. Like, I'm not her. First of all, if I'm going to put you down, I have no reason to do it secretly or subliminally. Like, I don't need to play face behind the internet, because guess what? Like, I show my face on the internet. So I was kind of offended that somebody would even think that when, you know, I create things that ultimately try to help others. So, needless to say, with that being said, one of the things that she said to me was that my current videos don't get a lot of views and that I don't have that many subscribers, or something to that effect, which is true. But there's back end reasons to that. I took a lot of time off of YouTube. If you're not consistent, yeah, your views are going to drop. There's an algorithm. There's different stuff. But somebody, you know, people have to start somewhere. Everybody has to start somewhere. You know, it's like, geez, I felt a certain way when I had 1,000 subscribers. You hit 13,000 and there's still people telling you your subscribers are low. You hit 50K and you still, to the person that has 1 million, you don't have no subscribers. But I don't think that, you know, and anybody will tell you, even if you have a message, if you have something to say or something to share, share it anyway. If you have 2 subscribers, 4 subscribers, 1 subscriber, or 1 follower, like, it doesn't matter. And so I've had to overcome the fact that regardless, it doesn't matter. Like, if I help one person, then thank you. If I help one person, then job well done. Like, pat myself on the back. So anyways, but those were definitely some mental blocks that they already pop up for me. So, you know, when people shout different things at you that sort of almost validates like those limiting beliefs, you've got to overcome that stuff. I have to and had to overcome that stuff. So, we're going to move on. Next question is, what was your favorite moment that you spent with friends? So think about that. What was your best time that you had with your friends this year? Did you have any time with your friends this year? And so I actually got to spend quite a bit of time with my friends at different occasions during this year, because we had weddings jumping off and birthdays and a bunch of different stuff. I think my best time was we took a little girls relaxation trip, and it's to Las Vegas. It's so funny because I was watching the year in review from last year, and I says, for this question, I go, oh, it was my girls trip to Vegas. But I did go to Vegas again. And it was super fun. It was a relaxing, like, chill weekend. We weren't out there trying to, like, while out and stuff. So, I mean, it was completely awesome. And I hadn't got to see my friends in a really long time or spend a lot of time with them, so it was really great for us to kind of like all get together. And then my friend Toya's weddings. So you guys saw earlier this year that I did a little footage and took some pictures at my friend's wedding. That was a great time with friends for sure. Weddings always bring like the good stuff together. Next question. What purchase turned out to be the best decision ever? And so when I think about this question, I always think about, like, have you ever bought something and then you're like, why did I buy that? Or, you know, you have, what's it called? Buyer's remorse. But what did you buy this year that maybe actually turned out to be something that was like the best thing that you could have bought? And for me, did I answer this question? Yes, I did. So for me, I said Best day was the 11th of June, reconciliation with my life partner and best friend. Woohoo! Congratulations! I said that my purchase was the paper and the wood graining tool and all the little stuff that I bought from Lowe's to do the paper bag flooring. So I still need to put that video up, by the way. Too bad I had a goal to put that video up by the end of the year, but I'm not even at home, so that's gonna be impossible. But this year we ripped up our carpet. It was disgusting and old, and we lived on concrete floors for like 2 months, and then I decided that I was going to do paper bag flooring, but I didn't want the standard paper bag flooring. I wanted to cut and grain the paper into wood planks, and I wanted to create a hardwood floor out of this paper. And we went and we bought all of the stuff, or I bought all of the stuff, and I splurged. I was getting all kinds of stuff to make this project, you know, great. The polyurethane is like $50 a can. You need like 12 coats, and so that's like a bunch of cans. Needless to say, I love those floors. They changed the house. They changed how the house looks and feels like, and they're actually really, really, really durable, at least so far. Like, so far they've been really good. So my best purchase, my faux hardwood floor materials. Next question, we've got, did any parts of yourself do a complete 180? Or yeah, so a turnaround. Did anything change for you this year? And for this one, I just said that I'm quiet. I feel like I used to talk on the phone a lot, and I was just always talking. I'm not going to say fast talking, but there was always something to talk about. There was no reason in the world for me to sit on the phone for the hours that I would be on the phone, but I would always have something to talk about. Funny that I like make YouTube videos, huh? But even just in always having a lot to say, I have found that this year, and quite possibly just because I've been keeping to myself, but I'm just a lot quieter. I'm not, even when I went out and had fun times with my friends, like I wasn't loud or not that I was ever overboard, but I've just been quiet. I've learned to bite my tongue on a lot of things. You don't always have to say something. So maybe like quiet in like a wise way, not in like a depressing, like, you know, I don't want to talk to anybody way. Next question. What 3 people did you most enjoy spending time with? What 3 people did you most enjoy spending your time with? I didn't answer this question. So I basically just said that this year I enjoyed spending time alone. And I really did. I mean, as much as I enjoy spending time with everybody when I spend time with them, usually. I mean, if I'm going to give you my time and we're gonna hang, you're somebody that I love and care about, and that I know loves and cares about me. Like, I've already done the trimming and the nipping of people out of my life that don't need to be there, or that don't, you know, spark joy in my life or keep me happy and healthy. So, you know, if I'm hanging with you, obviously, like, we have a good time anyways. So I don't think it's fair to throw 3 people on there. I mean, my kids make up 3 people. So, with myself, really, like, really by myself, thinking. I've been journaling a lot this year, you guys. Next question. Who was your #1 go-to person that you could always rely on? So who in 2018 was the #1 person that you knew you could always go to, that you could rely on? And I just put Hubs, of course. I can always go to Hubs for whatever, absolutely anything. So yeah, and he's really the only person that I really went to for anything this year. So I don't think I needed to this year, which is actually like it's like a good thing. Next question. Who had the biggest impact on your life this year? Your mom. Who had the biggest impact on your life this year? Really? And I don't know. I feel like I couldn't answer that one completely. I didn't put myself around a whole lot of people this year. So there are people who've impacted me because I've learned a lot of things from them. And honestly, most of them were on Instagram or on YouTube or on a blog. And I guess I don't really think that that's sad, you know. I've spent a lot of my life in like the digital sector and online, so. Your clients are like a constant mirror for you. Yeah. And I agree with that. I think that the people around us can be a mirror for us too. So that's good. Okay, next question. What activities made you lose track of time? So did you give yourself the time this year to do things that you enjoyed and or that just like brought peace or fun or fulfillment to your life? What made you lose track of time? And for me, that's always dancing and stretching really this year. So I shared with you guys on the channel earlier this year, I think that like my hip had been bothering me, and like I have had like some serious sciatic something going on, and it hurts all the time, and the best thing that I can do for it is to just stretch. So I've started like a yin yoga practice where it's slow and gentle stretching, and you hold the stretches for a long time, and I love it. Yes, you sure will on YouTube. Oh my goodness. Very, very quickly can time fly by when you're on YouTube. I agree. So, but that stretching has been amazing, and when I do it, I crank up my music, and you know, I get myself light my little candles, and I'm like, I love it. It's like a good peaceful time. Watching Ratchet series too, not proud of it. It helped me distract myself when in pain. Okay, what Ratchet series do you watch? I like Housewives of Atlanta. Whenever I'm in the mood for Ratchet TV, that is what I put on. And like my husband knows, like when Housewives of Atlanta's on, he's like, oh, you're feeling ratchet today, baby? Yes. Okay, next question. Where are we at? Where am I at here? What was the best compliment you received this year, and how did it make you feel? So what was the best compliment you received this year? And so I actually have to say that the most memorable, Married to Medicine. I haven't been keeping up with that one. I think I watched like the very first season, and then I never watched it again. I know there's probably a ton of seasons now, huh? This year, I had somebody on Instagram share with me that I have always been an inspiration to them ever since, I think they found me on YouTube, but ever since they came into my life, or I popped up on the screen into theirs, she just said that I'm so inspirational and that I've always been an inspiration, and basically it was a message and it was a thank you. And I think what I appreciated the most and why that comment to me was probably the most memorable is because going back to the earlier question, getting over those limiting beliefs and, you know, getting rid of mental blocks that are distracting and maybe blocking or holding you down, I feel like I needed that. I needed to hear someone tell me that I do inspire them, that you're not just like making videos or writing books or writing blogs or teaching dance classes or anything like that for no reason. So that was really beautiful. Next question is, what single achievement are you most proud of? And I think that especially like us as women, we don't give ourselves enough credit for our achievements, for the things that we do that are well. You know, we will take it from somebody else. It's okay if somebody else says, damn girl, like you did it, or you rocked that, or pats you on the back. It's okay to praise yourself a little bit. It's okay to give yourself a little bit of validation for the things you do. So even if it's just once a year right now in this space, what is the thing that you're, what the hell was the question? What single achievement are you most proud of? I promise I have not had any wine yet. Just water. So for me, I put, what did I put? Where are we at? Oh, sharing my new career and fulfilling what I'm created to do. Yes. Writing this ebook. I'm just proud of myself because I, more than anybody else, know what it's like. And this is what I tell the ladies in these vision board parties, because I know what we do. And not everybody does this, but I know what happens. You have a very good intention to make the time to do something. You have a desire to do something and very good intention to get that thing done. But we push things to the back burner. We push things to the side. We prioritize things differently. So for me, I hadn't really made writing a priority. I hadn't gotten to a good habit of writing to create a book. And I'm a perfectionist, which is bad in itself. Like if you're a perfectionist, stop it, Addie, stop it. Like you can't go there when you're a creator, because you'll never put anything into the world. And that's where I had to drop the veil. It's not perfect. It might have some errors in it. I've edited till my eyeballs are ready to fall out of my head. But if it never goes out, it never goes out. So I'm proud of that. That is my achievement, because now I feel like now that that's out of the way, like I can actually move on, and like I can, like I'm like, okay, wait a minute, like I can do this thing, you know? So yes. Next question. What was your favorite place that you visited in 2018? Where'd you go this year? Did you go anywhere fun? Did you go anywhere that was just, that blew your mind, or that was just your favorite place to be? And so for me, I just put my favorite place this year was Cabo. We went on a cruise for my 34th birthday. It was absolutely amazing. I woke up and the ship was in Cabo, and I don't know if these rocks that we were at are like the universal, like, oh, that's Cabo, like when you see those everybody knows, but I will know every time I see them, like those are the rocks at Cabo. But it was the most beautiful sight. I love water. We hung out on the beach all day, you guys. Cabo was my favorite trip. Next question is, what things did you discover about yourself this year? What new things did you discover about yourself this year? So did you discover anything about yourself that was new? And what was it? And okay, so I put that I'm good at everything. And I don't mean that in a way that's like being conceited or tooting my own horn, but I am good at things. Like the creative things, I find that they're a breeze for me. I'm good at them. Oh, wow. I'm going to have to go back and read that one, because it kind of disappeared before I was able to see the whole thing. So I'll be able to comment in a minute. What am I talking about here? Oh, me being good at everything. You guys, I'm totally kidding. I don't mean that in a conceited way, but I am good at a lot of things. And for a long time, like I didn't mind that. I liked that I felt like I was a jack of all trades. until I heard a comment one day, or I think I read it in a book, and it said, a jack of all trades is a master of nothing. And that made me feel some kind of way, and it changed my perspective on being really good at a lot of things. Like, I don't mind being good at a lot of stuff, but I want to master like one thing. I want to be so good at one thing that it's like, whoa. So, the answer to the question, though, what even was the question? What did you discover about yourself this year? So in all of that, it wasn't that I'm good at everything, but what I discovered is to focus on one thing at a time. But that if I do, like, I really can do anything. Like, all of us, we can do literally anything that we put our minds to. And it sounds so cliche because it's a saying we've heard all our lives, that, you know, but when you really look at it, and your thoughts create your things, and you can dream it and achieve it, all of those are very, very, very real, powerful statements, you guys, like, because we really can. So moving on to the next question. What new habits did you cultivate this year? Hey, Shannon. What new habits did you cultivate this year? So last year we did our words, and we'll do that at the very end here of this video, is to create our word for 2019. But last year we did our words for 2018. And I think that I set up my word to be ritual, because I wanted to create and establish these habits and rituals. My story helps others heal. Oh no, oh my goodness. So stop what I'm saying right now. Your story always has healing power in it for somebody. And I'm so glad that you said that, and that you know that, because it's so real. Like, it's so real. Our stories, all of our stories, everything that each of us, I think, has ever been through is something that could help somebody else, could help a lot of somebody else's, because our emotions, the emotions that we feel, are universal. Everybody gets hurt, everybody gets sad, everybody, I wonder if you were gonna do a word. Yes, we're definitely gonna do a new word. Everybody, you know, feels very specific emotions. Now, our circumstances might all be different leading up to those emotions, but guess what? Even our circumstances can't be that far different from the next person's. So yes, always share your story. Like, don't ever be ashamed of that. And like, I'm preaching to the choir here. Like, I always, you guys, I talk to myself when I talk to you guys, because you should never be ashamed of your story. Never. You know, and when you help people with that, you leave that little piece of your legacy behind that can help people for like years and years to come. Thank you, Shannon. Okay, next question, you guys, is, we're almost done. The next question is, where am I? Oh, was there anything that you did for the first time in your life? You finally realized it. And hey, and that's okay, as long as you realized it in this lifetime, right? Because now that you realize it, you can continue to share that story to help people for, you know, like the rest of your life. So, hey girl! So what did you do anything new this year for the first time ever? And I actually couldn't think of anything. I don't think I maybe gave myself enough time to think of anything. Because I did the answers to this like in a short amount of time, but I can't think of something that I did that was like the first time that was memorable or important. I mean, I laid paper bag floors for the first time. Is it relevant to the year in review? What's your question? Sometimes you guys scare me when you say stuff like that. Okay, so we're moving on to the next question is, what was the funniest moment? I know, me too. What was the funniest moment that made you crack up laughing, that still makes you laugh right now? Like, what happened this year that was so damn funny that it still makes you laugh? Wow, how's that? How old are your boys? Traveling with kids is, yeah. It's interesting. Funniest thing that still makes you crack up laughing. And y'all, I couldn't think of nothing. Now, I know I laughed this year. I know stuff was funny. But I couldn't think of anything. I couldn't think of anything that just like still when I think about it has me like, that was so funny. So I'm sorry. I'll have to come back at you guys with the answer to that one in another one. 14, 2, and 21. But he has moved out already. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Next question, you guys. Let's see. Where are we at? What little things did you enjoy most during daily life? And so I really like this question because it forces you to turn around and look at your life on a day-to-day basis. And where did you